And that was it for me.
Drake texts you and like, am I letting you down?
Yeah, what'd I tell you?
What did you say to him?
He said that I can never let you down.
Bringing in the 2025 year the correct way, because of course, Analytic Dreamz video on Spotify to see the video along with the audio, because we're getting into the mascot, the GOAT, and just the overall chart topper when it comes to the genre of hip hop. Because objectively speaking, there's a lot of people out here acting like they don't listen to Drake, but somehow, even in Kendrick's most successful and profitable year ever, Drake is still streamed the most daily as far as monthly. And of course, for the year of 2024 as a whole, people listen to Drake's discography more than any other rapper in that year. So all things considered, Kendrick is still killing it with his 2024 releases, as GNX is still currently the 7th most played album in the world. And then you have the projected stats as far as for January 11th, because currently there's a lot of Christmas tracks still on the charts, but when those go away, which is projected to happen January 11th, well, let me make sure. Yeah, January 11th, 2025, of course. Kendrick is projected to have not one, not two, not three, but 5 tracks in the top 25 as far as from GNX. Well, actually 4 from GNX. The 5th one is 30 for 30, the track with SZA. Why am I talking about Kendrick? Why did I play the LeBron snippet? Because, ladies and gentlemen, Drake just does not know when to quit. Because if you have somebody tatted on your body, if you have snippets like I just played of him stuttering and stumbling over his words like he just left preschool, talking about how he never wanted to let the LeBron James down. The person that, I kid you not, I've never seen so much glazing for one's birthday on the internet in my life. Somebody said, I have to throw something on the grill, because if you don't know, LeBron just turned 40 like a couple days ago, to the point where now we're looking at all type of stats of his greatness, right? Apparently this man has now tied Michael Jordan for the most 30-point games in NBA history with 562, right? And then when you look at the games with the amount of shots that they're taking in this individual games, LeBron has 396 games with 23 plus shots. And guess how many Michael Jordan has? 570 games with 23 plus shots. So one could say LeBron is unequivocally the most efficient and well-rounded individual as far as longevity that we've ever seen touch a basketball. So now, when we compare those two things, right? We've gone over the Kendrick stats. We've gone over the LeBron stats currently. Like, this is not just a blast from the past type statistics. It's not some Snapple facts from 5 years ago. They are currently killing the game and are top of the craft, right? What's something that both of those individuals have in common? Well, I'm glad you asked, because Drake went over it in what's being called the Fighting Irish Freestyle. Now, at first, I thought it was the Pipe Dream or the Pipe Bomb Freestyle, but I guess not. Everybody's going with the Fighting Irish. I don't know why. Maybe because Notre Dame just beat Georgia. I'm pretty sure the Irish, right? That's the correlation. Maybe I'm off with that, but I think that's the correlation. So anyways, Drake came out, and the most scathing part of this freestyle, and I have to say scathing, because if you have somebody's tatted on your body, once again, and then if you have this clip of you stumbling over your words like you just was trying to earn a gold star in preschool, as he was right here. Let's listen to it again for the people who missed it.
Yeah, what'd I tell you?
What did you say to him?
He said that I can never.
Yo, I can't even get through this. Hold on. Like, the stuttering makes it 10 times, 100 times funnier, because that's a grown man. That's a grown man. That's a grown man acting like that. Anyway, let's play this again.
What did you say to him?
He said that I can never let you down.
All right. Once again, I am a Drake stan. That is my favorite rapper. So obviously I keep it 8 more than 92, because I will point out when somebody is at fault as far as when their sentiments are not matching up with their actions, right? Anyways, so getting back into the reason why I'm bringing up LeBron and Kendrick statistics, because on this freestyle, one of the more scathing parts of this freestyle is basically when he came at LeBron, which we're going to get to how he came at him in a second, as I'm trying to find it. I don't know why I just don't. Oh, here we go. It's a PG podcast, so anything that's, and explicit, right? Anything that's profanity will be censored. So anyways, Drake said on the Fighting Irish Freestyle, people cried the blues for you, saying it wasn't malicious, talking about we family. Well, I'm not the cousin to visit. God forbid we ever got to tarnish your public image. All that brother talk as if I really discovered a sibling. 6 degrees, my memories retrieving our humble beginnings. You wanted trouble? Grabbed a shovel and dug up some ditches. Cover my body in dirt, but that wasn't me. So anyways, that's very apparent, and I do believe this is specifically for LeBron, but to be fair, this could be attributed to another rapper in the game, which is Jermaine. But the reason why I don't think it's Jermaine is because after Cole put out Port Antonio, if you remember, Drake co-signed the track by putting it on his story. Now, of course, behind the scenes is that Drake is giving a lot of people the cold shoulder because of their support for Kendrick. But if you think about it, Jermaine really didn't support Kendrick. He just did something that seemed like support because of him putting out a diss track towards Kendrick and taking it back. But it was never like, oh, I'm co-signing Kendrick over Drake. It was just like, I'm friends with both. So that could get a little misconstrued when people look at it in basically in hindsight, right? People are going to try to say, oh, J. Cole sided with Kendrick, which he ultimately didn't. So anyways, with him saying this, I do believe this is specifically for LeBron James because not only is this very interesting as far as God forbid we ever got to tarnish your public image, but then also you do remember LeBron came out and basically said, Drake's my brother. He tweeted that out. He said we'll never have beef. Basically, LeBron was trying to cover up a lot of the actions that he did towards going to the pop out. Because if you realize in the freestyle, there's a mention of tickets. Everybody who went to that show, Drake took it personal. It wasn't just business, which he literally said in the freestyle. So everybody who went to the pop out Ken and Friends event is indefinitely on Drake's blacklist. So with that being said, I do believe this is specifically talking about LeBron, and that's my favorite part of the freestyle because I don't think that's a tree you want to bark up on because like I just mentioned before, LeBron stands are one of one. Sometimes I believe that Drake stands could get to a point where they're number one, but obviously for LeBron fans, they are throwing stuff on the grill for LeBron's birthday. Drake's birthday just passed not too long ago, and I didn't hear a soul come out and tell him happy birthday. You know, people are just closet fans, closet Drake fans right now because of the PDF anthem going crazy, right? So with no proof, mind you, they still have no proof. We still haven't seen a daughter. We haven't seen no proof for the PDF allegations. I mean, my favorite rapper getting drugged through the mud with no evidence. Just imagine if the shoe was on the other foot. They would be calling Drake all type of names. Anyways, so Drake has a new freestyle out, and if you notice, it's not on DSPs. Now, why in the world would this track not be on DSPs? Well, I'm glad you asked because Drake and UMG have been beefing for quite some time. I remember when Drake put out 100 gigs, trying to see how long this was. Okay, August 9th, 2024, I covered 100 gigs for your head top. Very groundbreaking as far as a top musician throwing out documentary footage for free. The documentary from Taylor Swift, I don't know if I can bring that up right now, but basically documentaries are very lucrative for whatever streaming platform it ends up on, right? So when you look at Taylor Swift's documentary, I think it was like I don't know if it was on Amazon. Let me see if I can. I'm trying to figure out how much this documentary made because it was quite a lump sum. Okay, yeah, the Taylor Swift, A Long Time Coming. Oh, it came to Disney Plus. So you already know Disney is like one of the biggest companies in the world, right? So Taylor Swift gave Disney Plus her documentary, and I don't know how much it made. It was definitely reports that came out that it made like millions of dollars, but essentially, the reason why I'm talking about Taylor Swift and her documentary is because their footage of behind the scenes creations of some of people's like lifetime anthems, right, will end up going for millions of dollars, and people will pay. You'll be surprised how much people will pay just to see a glimpse on how one of their greatest or one of their favorite artists create music, right? So as far as the Taylor Swift documentary, when it originally came out on Disney Plus, a lot of people were talking about how much money it made, basically. And then to the point where I think, let me see, I always bring this up when the biggest gangster in the industry is brought up, because I don't think people realize how much she boosted the economy. Because the U.S. government came out and basically said that I don't want to get the number wrong, but anyways, so the documentary came out. I couldn't find the government stat, but Taylor Swift obviously had the most sales. As Billboard year-end top album sales, she was number one both years. She was number one for 2023 and she was number one for 2024. So that should tell you in itself, because Billboard is basically the official chart data for all sales and albums and song streams, right? So Taylor Swift topped those, and she does crazy amounts of revenue as far as her tour, her merch, her vinyls. Don't forget the vinyls. There's a reason why, going back to Drake, he said, my stuff still goes platinum and it ain't even on vinyl or something like that, right? Because he was throwing shade at Taylor, which he probably should stop. He throws shade at a lot of people at the top of the craft, but this is what happens when you do that and it comes to a head. So anyways, getting back into the freestyle, the reason why I brought up Taylor was literally just to talk about how Drake is suing UMG because he has been trying to negotiate more leverage for him, but now it's getting to a point where UMG is basically saying we don't need you because you're not at your hottest that you were back in 2015, 2016. So now you're at a stalemate. Drake called the bluff. UMG is basically like, we're not giving you this amount, but we'll give you this amount, right? But Drake wants a certain number. It's a lot, but Drake is the top rapper unequivocally. But when you look at a Taylor Swift, who's also under UMG, when you look at a Post Malone, when you look at a Kendrick Lamar, that's also under UMG, if you realize that UMG, let me see, UMG currently has 53% of the music market share. SZA is the top dog for Sony, and she has the number one album currently in the world. The third most played album in the world is by Bing Crosby. It's like Ultimate Christmas. There's a lot of Christmas stuff on here. But guess what most of this Christmas stuff is on? It's under UMG. Bing Crosby is under UMG, third most played album. The fourth most played album is under UMG. The fifth most played album is under UMG. And of course, Kendrick, the seventh most played album is under UMG. Like, you start to realize that UMG has a lot of the powerhouses to a point where Drake is Drake is definitely, I don't know if he's the LeBron, but statistically speaking, he's like the Steph Curry of UMG. But the only thing about that is that UMG is like the NBA. Like, we have LeBron, we have KD. Like, if you want to go to another league and think you can put up the same amount of exposure and the same amount of anticipation, or build up the same amount of anticipation in another league, then go to a Sony, go to a Warner. Not saying well, actually, I'm just saying that UMG is definitely the powerhouse, and I wouldn't advocate for Drake to go against them. But guess what? That's why there's a whole segment on my podcast titled Drake Crashes Out against UMG and sues them because of the Kendrick Lamar Not Like Us. There's a reason why I called it a crash out, because now you are never going to reach the heights that you were 2015, 2016, because you're going against the company that made you. You're going against a conglomerate in a way that they once did for you. So it's so hypocritical and seems bitter because you lost the battle to Kendrick. So now, fast forward. Reason why I'm saying all that is because it all ties in. So now you're beefing with UMG. Now you have Kendrick coming at your neck, because granted, when the deluxe edition came out for All the Dogs, which that was back in 2023, and you have to keep all this in mind, because all of this is tying together. None of this is just out of the blue. These people are very calculated. So November 17, 2023 is when the deluxe edition for All the Dogs Scary Hours edition came out. That was when Red Button was released. Why do you think Red Button was talking about certain things that's happening in today's age? Because he basically told UMG, he was like, if y'all don't give me what I want, I'm a self-destruct. This was before Kendrick's diss. This was before Future, Metro, Weeknd teamed up like Voltron. This is before they all came at Drake, right? He was telling us back in November 17th, 2023 on the track Red Button that if you press this red button, everybody is, what did he say, heaven gated or something like that. This is the red button. Him suing UMG for the same way that they helped him in his career is the red button he's talking about. He was like, if you're going to champion a PDF song and have my house on it, out of all things to have on the cover and not take it down, I'm suing you, and we're going to start to expose some of the deep, dark secrets of the music industry simply because I lost, which is definitely petty. I'm not discounting the fact that it's beyond petty, and which is why I've called him hip hop Karen, blue collar snitch. Like, it's a lot of different labels that I've given Drake because, of course, I look at the totality of the situation and I judge it fairly, or else I try to. You know what I mean? So with Drake being my favorite rapper, it still doesn't disregard the fact that this man is ultimately crashing out. So now, fast forward to current day, the Fighting Irish. That is why it's not on DSPs, because he's gonna find every way in the book to release music for free, just to spite UMG. So, anyways, Conductor Williams is one of the more pivotal producers in the game, probably one of the best producers in music. So his production is used, I'm not gonna say mostly, because I think that'd be disrespectful. I think he definitely has a variety of beats, but for the most part, Tyler the Creator, J. Cole, Drake, they use his beats to rap, to get bars off. It's really not too lackadaisical when you hop on a conductor beat. People usually know if you're gonna use a conductor beat, you better be given at least a 32 bar verse, at least. So now, every time you hear that conductor, just know that a rapper better be rapping. If he's on a conductor beat doing some type of Uzi or Yeet impression, even though I like both of those artists, I'm just giving an example. That's not the beat. That's not what the situation calls for. That's not what the 808s and hi-hats call for from conductor, right? If you're on a conductor beat, then you better go crazy as far as lyrically. As he even has a YouTube channel that features a series called Signature Blends, where this freestyle was initially uploaded to. Now, of course, because of beefing, UMG is going to try to take it off however they can. They're going to find every single way to copyright this track because guess what? Drake has cut his nose to spite his face because he's going at UMG in a way of releasing stuff for free. UMG is now trying to counteract that by taking down everything that they essentially own. Like, if LeBron's under contract and he starts to play for the 76ers, that can't happen, right? Because they're going to stop the game. They're going to stop a lot of things even before the game even happens because you're just breaking your contract. So now Drake is just giving stuff out for free, right? Well, I guess a better example would be like LeBron going to the park when the Lakers got a game the same day, right? Giving stuff away for free when he could be making all this money for the Los Angeles Lakers, right? Drake is giving out all these tidbits for free. Documentary with the 100 gigabytes for your head top. He's giving away freestyles for free. He's giving away a lot for free to the point where UMG has now stepped in and they are basically fed up with Drake. But Drake's also fed up with them, which is why Red Button came out November 17th, 2023. And it took us to the middle of 2024 took us to November 26, 2024 to realize that Drake would actually crash out and sue the whole industry. Well, not the whole industry, sue the big dogs in the industry to expose practices that he once benefited from. Now, if you realize, or if you notice, I'm really not going over too many of the lyrics of this freestyle because I wanted to save that for the end. So basically, at this point, Drake is my voice went away for a second. But anyways, we're back now. Anyways, Drake has put out this track and it's about 2 minutes and 57 seconds. So it's not too long, but he's also getting some bars off. There's not a chorus, so it seems longer than it is, right? This man Drake said, "The summer is over. I missed it. Barrel with smoke and I kissed it." I don't know what this is. I think it's Ferris. "Showed us the renters for Texas. It's unrealistic. Cut him a check because I hate reviewing the budgets and limits. Just pay the man." So these are just simple bars, simplistic bars that he's getting off right now. "The world fell in love with the gimmicks. Even my brothers got tickets." Now, of course, this goes back to earlier when I was talking about the mention of tickets was the Kendrick Lamar pop-out concert, which was Ken and Friends. Basically, Drake condemning each and every human that was at that concert. Because, of course, like he's going to say, it was personal. It wasn't just business. So anyways, let's keep going. I lost my place. All right. Okay. "The world fell in love with the gimmicks. Even my brothers got tickets. Seemed like they loved every minute. Just know this is personal to us. It wasn't just business. Analyzing behavioral patterns is somewhat suspicious. People was never happy." Hold up. I want to read along. Let me bring this up right quick. Continuing with the read along. Where do we hit? Where do we start off at or stop? Okay. Let's just start at the tickets part. The world fell in love with the gimmicks. Even my brothers got tickets. Seemed like they love every minute. Just know, this is personal to us, and it wasn't just business. Analyzing behavioral patterns is somewhat suspicious. People was never happy for me when I ran up the digits, or when I'm breaking world records as I guzzle a Guinness. Pause. Anyways, or when I get my fifth Maybach because the color is different. Remember, we trade in watches. Now I'm gonna stop right there. This has been apparent time and time again that Drake feels like he doesn't get the credit he deserves, which is hard to get across when you're the most played rapper year after year after year. Y'all know how many people put out rap? Y'all know who's the most streamed when it comes to rap music? Is Drake. And I want to hear he's pop, he's R&B. People are listening to a lot of rap when it comes from Drake, to the point where For All the Dogs was the most listened to album of last year. So Billboard came out and championed For All the Dogs as the most listened to rap album. And that's a objective platform basically known for giving us official chart data and analysis for songs and albums. How in the world are people only listening to the other genres of Drake if For All the Dogs is the most streamed rap album? And if you think about it, it had a lot of if you think about it, it had a lot of rap on there as far as for the masses. So to say Drake's not a rap artist and people only listen to him for R&B and what house music, like, it's definitely like a disingenuous argument. So with that being said, let's get into the rest of the lyrics. So I gave you that Arabic style. You gave me a numbered edition. You would even check up on my son like a pediatrician. Sure, convince the gang this expletive was rooted in love when it isn't. Show me how different we were, or show me how different we are. There's blessings in juxtaposition. I guess now you boys gotta abandon your summer tradition. Cold shoulders I gave in the Hamptons. It come with the distance. Figured we was always gonna be close, like ovens and kitchens. I was sadly mistaken. The loyalty wasn't given. Now, of course, he takes a little break to drink whatever type of sparkly drink he enjoys, but it's very much a pattern at this point. Everybody's trying to figure out the ingredients. But I'm pretty sure in the skit with Ben the Don, he basically told us what he puts in there. He's like, bust a can of that orange or whatever, and he talks about whatever other drink or alcohol he puts in it. Anyways, we're gonna keep going. We're not breaking down that much as far as getting into his daily beverage. All right, verse 2. People cried the blues for you. Now this is where it gets spicy. Saying it wasn't malicious. Talking about we family. Well, I'm not the cousin to visit. This man petty, ain't he? Crazy. Anyways, let's get back to it. God forbid we ever gotta tarnish your public image. All that brother talk as if I really discovered a sibling.
And that was it for me.
Drake texts you and like, am I letting you down?
Yeah, and what I tell you?
What did you say to him?
He said that I can never let you down.
All right, I love that snippet. All right, let's continue. 6 degrees. 6 degrees. My memories retrieving our humble beginnings. People wanted trouble. Grabbed the shovel and dug up some ditches. Cover my body in dirt, but that wasn't me. In parentheses, that wasn't me. That was a body double, and we've done dozens of switch. People tried to light up the front gate, and it wasn't for Christmas. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you, that's a bar, but because of it actually happening back in, when did this happen? So back when Drake and Kendrick were beefing, did I talk about his house getting shot up, or was it just, I think I combined that all into one. So basically, I'm trying to see where that was at. Okay, so Drake fans, it happened around July, I believe. Let me see. I think maybe I typed in mansion. Here we go. Found it. All right, so hey, that's why you should definitely rate this 5 stars and click the bell icon to be notified for the most recent gaming and music news, because I did cover this back in May 7th, 2024, where there was a shooting at Drake's mansion. Now, of course, there's a lot of speculation on what was the connection. People think it was Kendrick, right? But let's just say, I'm not Vlad, but there's 2 superstar individuals right now in the music industry that both are from Ontario. And let's just say one of the managers of the other superstar is somebody who Drake name drops frequently, and not in a positive light, right? Something, I'm talking very vague because I don't know anything, right? Something may or may not have happened to that manager's house to the point where the retaliation was to go at Drake's house. Now, this is alleged. Obviously, I could just be talking, right? I could just be completely making up stuff. But let's just say that's just true. Now, both of those artists from Ontario's crews, as far as, I'm just going to say the crews' names and y'all can figure out the rest. As far as OVO and EXO, right? They came together. They realized that all of this violence has to stop because, of course, like Drake said on Scorpion, someone would have to die if no one would dead it, right? So when it got to a point where people was shooting up, well, not people, a person shot up Drake's mansion in Toronto, basically injuring a security guard, all type of investigation, with burglary being the suspected motive, but there's been no connection to who could have ordered this hit, right? It's very serious stuff as far as the EXO OVO beef. But whoever is the top dogs of those two camps, they reportedly came together and basically called for a truce, right? Anyways, let's keep going. So that's where this bar is from. People tried to light up the front gate and it wasn't for Christmas. I said a prayer that morning for Sean and it wasn't religious. Who is Sean? Is that his bodyguard? Oh, okay. Well, Genius doesn't even know. Okay. I'll maybe guess it's like his bodyguard because his bodyguard did get shot. Yeah, because he was, protecting. He was on his late night shift and was shot in the drive-by. Okay, so it was multiple because it was a drive-by. So, anyways, I said a prayer that morning for Sean, and it wasn't religious. It came from a place of desperation and utter submission. Rapping was over for now. It came like a sudden decision. Now, back when I was covering the Drake versus Kendrick beef, I repeatedly said Drake is going against multiple people and he needs to put that on the forefront, which is why I'm glad he did that in what made Family Matters to me the best lyrical track in the whole entire beef. Because of course, Kendrick, specifically for Drake, got the best bars off, specifically for Drake. Drake in totality took out ASAP, took out The Weeknd, took out Metro, took out Future. Like, people really don't talk about Drake's kill streak before running up against Kendrick. Nobody ever responded. ASAP tried to respond, and Drake said something about his baby mom, and, ASAP started to be like, hey, you know what? It's not even that serious. Like, why are we even rapping? So a lot of Drake's W's, well, minor W's against other rappers were discounted because of the way that Kendrick obliterated him 1v1. But it wasn't a 1v1. It was a 20v1, which Drake literally said on push-ups. So that's why I love that he consistently acknowledges that it wasn't just Kendrick. If it was just Kendrick, I think he would have been able to be more focused. This happening as far as shooting outside his mansion, as far as Rick Ross coming at him, as far as Future and Metro making a double album, people act like none of that existed. It was just Kendrick versus Drake, which was never the case. Anyways, all right, let's get back to it. So obviously it was over for, he said rapping was over for now. It came like a sudden decision because guess what? Now it's real life events. People are shooting at your house. And meanwhile, the cover of the PDF anthem is your house. In no other world would that be allowed to continue to be your song cover art if something like that happened. Do y'all not realize Drake's house was on Not Like Us? Is the cover art for Not Like Us, the most popular rap song of 2024. Drake's mansion got shot at. Like, hold up. Let me show y'all. All right, so let's go Not Like Us. We could do this together, right? Not Like Us. Okay, May 4th, 2024. Not Like Us has the cover of Drake's whole mansion with PDF type of icons around it, right? May 7th, 2024. Shooting outside of Drake mansion. Now, I wonder what terms or what grounds they have to stand on to get that cover art taken down. But somehow, some way, that cover art was allowed to stay up. Now, I'm not condoning him suing, but I completely understand. Anyways, let's get back to it. So, obviously, it was real life stuff happening. He's done rapping. So, with that being said, let's continue. I don't care about you snakes or these other musicians. People started messing with my family. I'm going to prison. We all crashing out together. Oh, boy, did he crash out. We all crashing out together. My brother's complicit. Who put a pipe bomb in your trunk? It wasn't Exhibit. Now, let me tell you something. Who in the world does Drake think he is? He think he's P. Diddy Part 2? Like, only Diddy is publicly known to blow up somebody's car and at that point in time still stay free. If Drake actually tries to execute this plan, let's just say I don't think he has Diddy type coverage to stay free for the 30 plus years that Diddy was doing all his, allegedly, his villainous works, right, in theatrics. Anyways, so Drake thinks he's the second coming of Diddy by saying, "Who put a pipe bomb in your trunk? It wasn't Exhibit." For those who are out of the loop, Diddy blew up Kid Cudi's car, allegedly, but you can look it up. It's a lot of witnesses to corroborate the claims that Kid Cudi was messing with Cassie, and we know how important Cassie is to the Diddy case. Diddy took not too kindly to that and